Video. And in today's topic, we're going to be talking about The Little Mermaid. How many changes been happening since the animated version towards the live action, which is supposed to be released, I believe, May 26, 2023. And also in the video, we're going to be going for some few items. We're going to go for the Moonveil Katana, the Dragon Heart. After you defeat the Magna Wyvern, you pretty much get those two items. We're gonna also head to Lens Rise, get an XP grind. Normally, I try to go against the little enemies and just get a little bit of XP, but I just, throughout doing my research on YouTube, find out that Lens Rise, there's a glitch where you can just get unlimited amount of XP by just, dodging a wrecking ball, and boom, you get the XP. Also, we're gonna go for the Solarian Crystal tier, the Rupture Crystal tier from the Erd Tree. Now let's talk about it. So Disney, big old Disney. Disney is pretty much older than me, and I have to, I have to really go look back to see how old is Disney. But they had a lot of movies when I was a kid. A lot of movies. We had The Land Before Time. Well, actually, I don't even think that's a Disney movie. But we had the Aladdin, we had Lady and the Tramp, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Peter Pan, The Little Mermaid, Cinderella, Mulan, Bambi, Lion King. Can't forget Lion King. Mufasa, Simba, and Scar. Can't forget them. Um, uh, did I mention? I think Gargoyle, and you had the Hunchback. Goddamn, if you was in school back in those days and you had the girl you was hitting on, and she called you look like the Hunchback, forget it. You destroyed. Your life is pretty much messed up. It's pretty much fucked up. But anyway, what I notice nowadays days, a lot of movies are doing live action annotations, however you prefer, and it's been very off from the character, such as like if you have a character that's going to play an animated character, you have to be pretty much spot on. I would say the Wolverine was spot on. I would say Tony Stark's from Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., if I said his name right, spot on. Captain America, spot on. And I believe a lot of Disney have a lot to learn. I believe. It depends on who's the writers. I don't know. I mean, I haven't done my research to be honest, but you have the new Little Mermaid, Ariel, if I said her name right, Ariel. And the person who's doing the live action versus the animated character looks very off. And I know a lot of people are saying, hey, well, it's just fictional and stuff like that, but you have to take it to a certain degree where the person has to look spot on. Let's just talk about Death Note for a perfect example. Light Yagami. Light Yagami, the Netflix annotation, live annotation towards the animated series was very off. His character, personality traits, I mean, the actor who was playing as Light Yagami was very off. The personality was just like Light Yagami, he was just a prodigy in the animated series. In the live action, now we transfer into the live action, he was just pretty much a like pussy. The girl was off. I really liked her. She played a movie that I on HBO series. I don't have the name on top of my head, but I really liked her character. But she was off as well. Dragon Ball. I think it was Dragon Ball the movie. Goku-san. Chi-Chi, Piccolo. All those characters was off, and it was just bad. As we all know, The Little Mermaid has more dislikes than likes, and it's just so unfortunate to see it actually going through that way. But I think it's just a learning lessons that if you don't have character that is spot on, no matter if it's race or whatever, if you don't have the character that's spot on to the animated series, it's going to be set for failure. And I think that's just the basics. Like if you want to like direct something, you have to have something, back to the basics. You have the story content, the contents and everything right in front of you. Word for word. Person that looks identical to that animated series. You have to try. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that we're reaching to a society now where diversity is heavily important, and I see with sexual orientation, base race, whatever, all that is starting to change, like the shows and movies. I think it's more for me. It's more easier to digest when, like, for example, if it's a book series where or a non-picture series that they had, then you can add these characters of diverse, and what you can do whatever with it, because nobody has the envisions of their mind how the person looked, or perceived, how the person looked. But once something is already made and you try to do things that's different onto that story content, it's like the whole thing changed. Like everything changed. And for a person to say, "Oh, well, just accept it." There's no way you can just, snap your fingers and expect the person to change their how they perceive something that easy. So let's look at the House of Dragons. To be honest, I haven't even watched it. I did watch Game of Thrones. I enjoyed it except the last season. I'm a big fan. And I noticed that the House of Dragons released they TV show on HBO, and they have an actor. I believe I'm gonna chop some names because I'm not the best in English, but hey, his name is Steve Toussaint. All right, and he received a lot of Ross's backlash of his character who is playing Lord Corlys Valerion. I may I believe that's his name. I tried. At least I tried. But most importantly, I heard that, you know, through my peeps, that he's a very good actor. Mr. Toussaint is, playing his behind off on House of Dragons. And, it's really unfortunate that he has to go through this this Ross's outrage, especially in his timeline and stuff like that. Sometimes when you watch you look in your Facebook, your Twitter and stuff like that, you just want to have a good time and chill. But when you see stuff like that, it's just so annoying and just like, well, dude, come on, man, it's just a show. And it's just a show, but it didn't really, like, to be honest, it didn't have any like visual images of him or anything like that. It was just a storyline, and it was easier to accept the thing. But this is society, and sometimes things like this happens all the time. So it's just, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and you can only do what you gotta do to get that money, right? But also, let me know what you think about the Little Mermaid. Are you gonna go and watch it? Is it X off your list? And just let me know what other movies that they're doing that to. But until then, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and keep hustling. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.